It is Sunday morning. I'm on my way to church. Well, I should say I'm on my way to the church building where the church is gathering this morning.
And if you could start turning your handles to 544.
Well, the church service is over. I will try to make my way out of this parking lot, but it went smoothly. The music, I'm talking about the music. So, let's see, Sunday, what am I going to do today other than church? Is there something I want to do today, need to do today? There is something I need to do today, and that is cook that salmon I got like 2 days ago. I don't want to let that raw salmon sit too long in the refrigerator. So I should probably cook that. I can cook that for dinner. And I think I wanted to find a place to park and talk to the camera like more than I am right now. I'm a little bit distracted with driving to think out like what I want to say. So I'm gonna go ahead and find a place to park. I think I'll drive downtown, Port Townsend, by the water. Find a place to park and say something. I have something sort of to say. It has to do with one of the hymns that we sang this morning. Alright, well, I found a place to park here by the water. Anyways, I wanted to go ahead and talk about this hymn that I played this morning. It's called How Firm a Foundation. Also, I'm not sure if this lighting is the best in the world, but it doesn't really matter. I'm enjoying the sunshine. It's nice to see. So I was looking at this sheet music I have for How Firm a Foundation. It says on it that it's a traditional American melody. A traditional American melody. And it made me think about recalling from the past the beginnings of this country, that we had some Christian beginnings, some Christian roots. So that's interesting for me to think about, that we really came from that. We really somehow had some roots that were that way, because I wouldn't necessarily guess that. I wouldn't necessarily guess that looking at our current culture. Okay, so I thought that was interesting. It's a traditional American melody, and I think what I like about it is the melody and the words, though. The words. And in particular, this one specific verse that I remember reading some years ago when I was dealing with what the words are talking about, and it was a great comfort to me. A great comfort. It put into perspective what was happening in my life at the time, and I still remember that. And the truth of those words is still true today. Can still be applied to many different situations today. So I wanted to share that with you. So let's see here. There's 4 verses, and in place of me like playing a song in today's vlog, remember I said something about playing a song in each vlog? In place of me playing that on an instrument, I was just going to attempt to sing these 4 verses to you. The 4 verses of How Firm a Foundation. Yeah, so I'll try to do that instead of playing a song. I'll try to sing this to you, and you can listen to the words. I think I will try to put them on the screen as well. But okay, so the first verse is, how firm a foundation, ye saints of the Lord, is laid for your faith in his excellent word. What more can he say than to you he hath said, to you who for refuge to Jesus have fled? And okay, there was another thing I wanted to mention. In my mind's eye, there's something about this tune that makes me think of older days. Like, in my mind, I'm picturing like Civil War days or something, and battlefields, and something about the tune of this hymn stands out to me. In my mind's eye, I picture it as a tune that would be sung back in the day like that, and it's a comfort and it's an encouragement. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so verse 2. Fear not, I not dismayed, for I am thy God, and will still give thee aid. I'll strengthen thee, help thee, and cause thee to stand, upheld by my righteous omnipotent hand. Okay, so what was comforting to me about those words, I'm still not at the particular verse that meant the most to me, but the beginning of the verse I just sang, it says, "Fear not, I am with thee." Okay, that to me, that's significant. There's a lot to fear. I don't know about you. To me, there is a lot that you could fear, but I am not to fear. Why? Because God is with me. It says, "Oh, be not dismayed, for I am thy God, and will still give thee aid." Yes, there's much to fear and much to be dismayed about, but I don't need to be, and I shouldn't be. I'm not supposed to be. And it says, "For I am thy God, and will still give thee aid." I like the part that says, "still give thee aid," because to me it's referencing the past, and that he has given me aid already in my life. And it's also referencing a further past to me, like in biblical times where that's what he does. He helps his people. It goes on to say, "I'll strengthen thee, help thee, and cause thee to stand, upheld by my righteous omnipotent hand." Yeah. I thank God that he strengthens me and helps me and causes me to stand. And verse 3, and this is the verse that meant the most to me. These words. "When through fiery trials thy pathway shall lie, my grace all sufficient shall be thy supply. The flame shall not hurt thee, I only design thy dross to consume, and thy gold to refine." What a verse. What a verse. What a verse. To me, that... Okay, let me go through this. "When through fiery trials thy pathway shall lie." Talk about it. Talk about it, especially a certain point in my life. Actually, 10 years ago this year. Has it been that long? That's amazing. Okay. Especially beginning about 10 years ago in my life. Talk about fiery trials. There was a point, there was a season of deep trial, okay? And I'm not being dramatic about that either. It was very difficult. So, when through fiery trials thy pathway shall lie, my grace all sufficient shall be thy supply. The flame shall not hurt thee, I only design thy dross to consume, and thy gold to refine. That last part especially was such a comfort to me, and gave me some knowledge of the situation. I'm sure you can find a Bible verse or 2 or 3 or 4 or more that would support what this song is saying. The flame shall not hurt thee, I only design thy dross to consume and thy gold to refine. That was a comfort to me, because it feels like you, in the midst of certain trials, it feels like it's the end of your actual life. There's nothing else to live for. You don't see anything good happening out of it. Like you got nothing. Like you're at absolute rock bottom, feeling worthless, feeling like you're hurting, okay? You're hurting, to say the least. But these trials, these fiery trials, the flame shall not hurt thee. Thank God for that, because it feels like you're it feels like you're dying. It feels like they are hurting you, and I'm not trying to negate any pain that you might feel. Yeah, it hurts, but it was a comfort to me to know the flame isn't isn't designed to, like, hurt me in a way that I cannot ever recover from with God's help. It is designed to consume the dross in my life and to refine the gold. So dross and refining gold, it has to do with, I think, refining metal, purifying metal, I believe, something along those lines. And to me, that was significant to come to that awareness. Again, you can find Bible verses to support this general idea, but when we're walking with the Lord and there are trials, He's using them for my good, is what I'm trying to say. Not to just hurt me, not to destroy your life, but there is a bigger picture involved, and it has to do with refinement. So that particular verse was huge to me. That is huge to me. It makes me want to sing it again. When through fiery trials thy pathway shall lie, my grace all sufficient shall be thy supply. The flame shall not hurt thee, I only design thy dross to consume, and thy gold to refine. Verse 4. The soul that on Jesus hath leaned for repose, I will not desert to its foes. That soul, though all hell should endeavor to shake, I'll never, no never, no never forsake. That last verse, to me, it's talking about someone who is leaning on, depending on Jesus. Someone who's doing that, Jesus will not desert. When you're leaning on Jesus, relying on Jesus, depending on Him, He won't desert you to your foes. Again, kind of a throwback to me to like Civil War days or some kind of war from the past. Because we have foes, if you didn't know, and I'm not talking necessarily about like people, if you know what I mean. I'm talking about we have an enemy. And then it says, that soul, though all hell should endeavor to shake. That soul, though all hell should endeavor to shake. Have you ever, talking about trials, have you ever, and talking about war, spiritually speaking, have you ever felt like all hell is endeavoring to shake you? Because I don't know about you. I don't know what kind of Christian life you're living, but I have felt that more often than I would really like, of course. But I mean, here's a little bit of a consolation, I guess, if you feel extra like you're battling with the enemy. It's probably for a reason, probably because you're something of a threat to him and he doesn't like what you're doing. So I mean, to me, okay, if I am coasting through this life and not feeling any like friction, struggle, trial, difficulty, outright spiritual attack, I can start to wonder, am I even doing anything like anything God wants me to do? Yes, so it says that soul, the soul that was leaning on Jesus, depending on Jesus. Remember that one? That soul, though all hell should endeavor to shake, I'll never, this is as if God is talking, I'll never, no never, no never forsake. Thank God for that, because that's an absolute life. God, to me, is an absolute lifeline, especially in general, of course, but especially in a spiritual sense. We already know that physically we are going to die at some point, right? That's a given. But may we never experience a spiritual death. And what is my lifeline to not experience a spiritual death is my faith in Jesus. That he, you know the whole thing, right? You know the whole thing, that we were ransomed by his death. That whole the gospel, basically, that's such a lifeline. Yes, this song, it's deep. That soul, though all hell should endeavor to shake, I'll never, no never, no never forsake. Besides that, I like that it kind of rhymes. But to me, the words in this hymn are huge to me personally. Huge. It's saying so much. So that's what I wanted to share. Don't mind my singing, okay? Don't mind my singing. I am aware that I didn't hit every note. So, I really like that song. I really like that hymn. It's encouraging to me, comforting to me, as well as I get the feeling with the tune and the words that it's urging me forward. As if I were, spiritually speaking, a soldier on a battlefield that may be feeling a little bit weary. This tune, this song, and these words, it's encouraging me to go on, reassuring me, comforting me, reminding me of various truths. So, I mean, I just really like this hymn. When through fiery trials thy pathway shall lie, my grace all sufficient shall be thy supply. The flame shall not hurt thee, I only design thy dross to consume, and thy gold to refine. I think another reason why I liked that particular verse so much is it helps me remember the intent and the nature of God, where he didn't design the flame of the fiery trials. He didn't design it to hurt me. He designed it to refine me. And so when I remember that, it's helpful. It's helpful. It reminds me that he's not antagonistic towards me or likes to see me suffer. He loves me. I remember that. I helps me to remember He loves me and cares about me, and so that flame is not designed to hurt me. It's to remove the dross out of my life and make me more, really more like Him. I am currently cooking some salmon in the oven. So while that is cooking, I wanted to open up the next advent calendar door. I think we're on day 7? Day 7, I believe. This tea is called Raspberry and Lemon. It's an herbal tea, it says, caffeine free. The ingredients are hibiscus, rose hips, blackberry leaves, natural lemon and raspberry flavors with other natural flavors, rose petals, lemon peel, licorice root, and natural flavor. Sounds like there's quite a bit going on in this one. Raspberry and lemon. I'd be interested to try this. I can't recall trying anything like it in the past. And I will go ahead and read whatever is on the door of this door 7 of the Advent calendar. It says, "Let it steep, let it flow. Enjoy a warm cup with a book and let yourself get lost in the story. Share your favorite book and tea pairing on social. Tag us at blah 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 blah." Okay, so yeah, I don't have much to say about that. I guess one of my favorite books besides the Bible is the entire Sherlock Holmes stories by, what's his name, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Yeah, that's besides the Bible, that's one of my favorite books that I can recall off the top of my head. There are other books that I have enjoyed quite a bit that are of a more religious nature, but setting aside religion and faith and that sort of thing, one of my favorite books is the whole collection of Sherlock Holmes stories. I have read them all at least twice. So I will brew this tea and give it a taste. Meanwhile, I feel a little bit rushed right now because I don't want the salmon to overcook or something, so I will go boil some water and check on the salmon as well. Alright, I'm back. I have the tea brewing here next to me, and I got the salmon out of the oven, so now I don't have to worry about that for the moment. I don't cook fish very often, and so I'm like not that comfortable cooking it. I'm like hoping it isn't overcooked and not undercooked. And I know, like fish cooks faster, on the faster end of things. Anyways, the Advent calendar was talking about books, your favorite book. And I said I liked the Sherlock Holmes stories. And I do. Besides that, I think I like, I probably won't remember the titles, but books by A.W. Tozer. He was a Christian writer. A.W. Tozer. His writings and his books are amazing to me. Such depth and knowledge I'm very impressed with his writings. So I will go ahead and taste this tea. It smells good. It smells like raspberries, definitely. And the tea itself has taken on sort of a reddish color. That's good. I like that one. It tastes fruity. Fruity. Yes, the raspberry comes through the most. I think it said there was lemon in here, I guess, but it's not particularly sour. Yeah, I like this one. It's good. Kind of fruity, like I said. I did, of course, add a little bit of sugar to it, but not a whole bunch. This one I would not add eggnog to, for sure. I would not be adding eggnog to this. I don't think it would go. I wouldn't add milk to this either. I like it as it is. I think adding eggnog to this would be a weird combination, so I won't. So that's about all I've got for the moment. I will go ahead and probably eat some dinner.